Hello again. Today let's look at some of the applications of the guard positions. So many people get this wrong, I think. I do also sometimes, but quick recap from previous one. So every guard we are using, top of the head, left shoulder, middle, low left, in front of low. Everything is coming from this just circular motion of the sword. And this is the key principle. So either way you are moving, it doesn't matter how you are standing, the sword is always moving like this. Of course we can then change direction as we want and keep rolling. But the guards are coming from that. So if you haven't seen it, check out the previous video where I explain how the guard positions are coming. Now, the application then, they are not typically static. So you don't want to stay too long in a single guard, otherwise your opponent will calculate and target, for example, your hand and hit that. So if you do it on purpose and if you have a plan, then it's fine, but usually it's not. So you're kind of moving, changing position. And the reason is that depending where your sword is, for example, if it's on my left shoulder or close to it, it's easy to cut from here. If I want to do this cut, it's easy to start it from my left shoulder. If my sword is on my lower right and I want to do the cut from upper left, I have to first move there and then cut, because otherwise it just doesn't work. I can also move from here and cut. So you have possibilities of moving from different directions to a guard, and when you are in the guard you can launch an attack from there. So the basic application is that from where you want to cut, what height, basically that is where you move. So you first move to a guard and then you start the cut from that guard. Of course you can also thrust if you want from that guard. So that's the basic thing. So when you are fighting, where your sword is going, it can be in any motion really. But when you want to cut, let's say I want to cut from my lower right, I will first move here and then I will cut. And then if we are doing something, let's say I'm blocking here, blocking here, blocking here, blocking here, I move to a guard and then I cut. Okay, I'm blocking here, blocking here, blocking here, blocking. Now I'm in a guard, now I will cut. And the guards are good when you have a really heavy sword like this. This is a frank type of old sword, so pretty heavy. And I think the weight, the balance point is, it's quite forward. It's more like an axe. So if you try to fight from this position with this kind of swords, maybe you can do it if you target the hands, but you are not gonna get much power to the cuts. So if we want to power cut, so the second thing is that the guards can be used to power cutting. So if you are fighting with blunt weapons, you have to have a lot of power, let's say sticks or some kind of clubs, war clubs. You will have to put a lot of power to those strikes, otherwise they are not going to do anything. With swords you need less power, but if you are fighting against somebody who has heavy clothing or maybe even some protective armor, you will have to hit very hard. So the guards are used to launch these kind of power cuts and power attacks. So that's why they are used. And now I'm gonna show you some things. For example, how this works in practice. So if I cut, let's say here, to my opponent's leg and it gets blocked, I will now pick this sword up to this kind of upward circle, and I end up in this guard, and then I can cut from here. So what happened? So let's say I start from here, I cut to the leg, it's blocked, I do another cut. I will first go to this circle, so remember the circle principle, so then I use that to move this guard, and then I cut from here. So in practice it looks like this. So we don't really stop anywhere, it goes like very fast. But if you know now how to use the circle, you can do it also the other way around. So I cut here, it's blocked. I take this circle over here. I move, let's say, so I cut first here, it's blocked. Now I take the circle, I move into this guard, and then I will cut up. So it looks like this. So go here first and then you cut. So it's bang, bang. You can use that kind of motion. But every time you do it, there is a circle somewhere. So we first cut upward with this circle, it gets blocked, then we move into this circle, it gets here. So the circle is always there. Of course you can do something else and not use the circle, but then like I said before, it looks ugly and it's less powerful, less smooth, and you are also slower. So if you can utilize the circle principle, you will be much faster, you use less force, you get less tired. But of course you need to practice this, otherwise it doesn't work for you. So the main point here was now that the guards are something you can move to. You move to a guard and then you will cut from there. And when you have cut, you end up in another guard. So for example, we move here, we cut, but then we can, after the cut, move to another guard. So if I cut from here, I will now use the upward circle to move into this long tail, and then I can cut from there again. So you have to experiment this yourself. But this enables very smooth sword handling, and you can do like many different cut types you want, as long as you just keep remembering the circle principles. Okay. Hope that wasn't too complicated. Applications will be shown later. So it's bye bye until next time.